A poor girl helps a wounded man, unaware he's a millionaire who will turn her life upside down. But before we dive into the full story, let me know where you're watching from and what time it is now. Subscribe to the channel and let's get started. Rain slashed the New York streets, a gray curtain blurring the neon glow of bodegas and bars. Emily Sanders trudged through the downpour, her sneakers squelching, heavy with the night's weight. Her waitress apron was stuffed in a fraying backpack, her shift at the diner stretching past midnight. Exhaustion clung to her like damp cloth. The alley shortcut to her apartment loomed, narrow and shadowed, but faster than the crowded sidewalks. She pulled her hood tighter and stepped into the dark. A figure slumped against a dumpster, barely visible through the storm's haze. Emily's steps slowed. Another of the city's ghosts, she thought, but his stillness, head tilted as if listening, caught her. She edged closer. He was older, gaunt, his dark coat ragged. Blood trickled from his hand, pooling on the pavement, red fading to pink in the wet. "Hey," Emily called softly, crouching. "You okay?" The man's eyes flicked up, gray-green, like a blade dulled by time. He didn't speak, just watched her, wary. Emily's fingers traced the silver locket at her neck, her mother's, a nurse's instinct etched in metal. She dug into her bag, pulling out a crumpled first aid kit, its gauze stained from use. "Let me see," she said, voice steady despite the chill. She reached for his hand. He flinched but didn't pull away. His skin was cold, scarred, the cut deep but clean. And Emily worked fast, wrapping gauze with practiced care, her hands moving like they remembered nursing school before life stole that dream. The man's breathing eased, a faint rhythm against the storm's roar. "What's your name?" she asked, tying the bandage. He hesitated, eyes searching hers. "John," he said finally, voice rough, like gravel underfoot. A lie, maybe, but Emily didn't press. She'd seen enough desperate faces to know truth came slow. "You can't stay here," she said, glancing at the alley's mouth, where headlights flared and faded. "It's freezing. I've got a place nearby. Tea, at least." His gaze softened, a flicker, like a lantern catching flame. "Why help me?" he murmured. Emily shrugged, rain dripping from her hood. "I've seen you at the diner, leaving coffee for folks on the street. Someone's got to." She stood, offering a hand. He took it, his grip surprisingly strong, and rose, unsteady but tall. They moved through the alley, her small frame dwarfed by his shadowed height, the rain a steady drum between them. Her apartment was a fifth-floor walk-up, cramped and worn, where hope felt like a guest who'd left early. Emily flicked on a lamp, its yellow light spilling over peeling wallpaper and a single photo on the counter. Her mother, smiling, stethoscope around her neck. She handed John a towel and a chipped mug of tea. He took both, his scarred hand careful, and sat on the sagging couch. "Thanks," he said, eyes lingering on the photo. A shadow crossed his face. Grief or recognition. Emily frowned, catching it, but he looked away, sipping the tea. "You from around here?" she asked, drying her hair. "Been around," he said, vague, his voice a low hum. He set the mug down, fingers tracing the gauze. "You didn't have to do this." "Didn't have to not do it," Emily said, half smiling. She sat across from him, the locket still against her chest. "You got somewhere to go?" He didn't answer, just watched her, his eyes holding something heavy, like a story too big for words. The rain tapped the window, a soft rhythm, and Emily felt a pull, like a thread tugging at her heart. "You know my name," he said suddenly, so quiet she almost missed it. "Emily." Her breath caught. She hadn't told him. His gaze held hers, steady, a secret shimmering there, like a shadow half seen in dawn's light. The room felt smaller, horns blaring outside, sharp as a warning. In that flicker of a moment, something had begun. The rain hadn't stopped, a relentless patter against Emily's window, like fingers tapping secrets. She sat on a wobbly chair, eyes fixed on the man who called himself John, his scarred hand cradling a chipped mug. Her apartment smelled of damp clothes and instant tea, the lamp's glow casting shadows that danced across his weathered face. He'd said her name, Emily, without her offering it, and now the air buzzed with questions she didn't know how to ask. "You gonna tell me how you know me?" she said, voice sharp, her fingers twisting her mother's old ring, a nervous habit. John's gaze flicked to the photo on the counter. Her mother, frozen in a smile, stethoscope glinting. "I saw you at the diner," he said, voice careful, like a man stepping over broken glass. "Leaving coffee for the old guy outside. Pete, right? You're kind. Like her." He nodded at the photo, his eyes softening. She reminds me of someone who helped me once. Emily's breath hitched. Her mom's kindness felt like a thread across time, but his tone held something else. Grief, maybe, or a secret buried deep. That doesn't explain my name, she said, leaning closer, the ring warm on her finger. He sipped the tea, eyes distant, like he saw beyond the peeling walls. I heard Pete say it once. Stuck with me. His words were too smooth, a half-truth, but Emily let it slide. She'd learn more when he trusted her. Don't lie, she said sharp. You're not good at it. Her heart thumped, half from nerves, half from the strange pull of his presence, like a song she'd heard but couldn't place. He set the mug down, fingers brushing the gauze she'd tied. I've seen you help people. That's enough. His voice was low, raw, and Emily saw something in his face. Pain, mirrored, like her own quiet struggles. She stood crossing to the window, needing air, even if it was just the city's damp breath. The street below glistened, a stray cat darting under a car. You can't stay here if you're trouble, she said, not turning. I got enough of my own. I'm not trouble, he said, but the words felt hollow, like a promise he didn't believe. I've kept places to stay low, out of sight. He rose slow, his coat dripping on the floor. I'll go. Wait. Emily turned, surprising herself. You're hurt. It's pouring. Just sit. His vanishing stung, like losing something unnamed. He sank back onto the couch, shoulders slumping. The photo caught his eye again, and his jaw tightened, a flicker of memory crossing his face. Emily followed his gaze, her chest tightening. You really know her? She asked, voice barely above a whisper. John's fingers twitched, as if reaching for something lost. Not her, he said, dodging. Someone like her, kind, gone now. His voice cracked, and Emily caught a glimpse of a man carrying more than scars. A sister, maybe, or a life stolen. Her throat burned. She'd lost her mom, her nursing dreams, to debt and dead-end jobs. That pain echoed in his eyes, binding them in silence. What happened? She asked, softer now. Doesn't matter, he said, but his gaze said it did, said it was everything. He stood sudden, like a man shaking off a ghost. I should go. You don't need my mess. Stop it! Emily stepped closer, blocking his path. You're not running off to bleed in an alley, not tonight. Her voice shook, but her stare held firm, like her mother's when she'd faced down pain. John looked at her, long and quiet, a faint smile breaking through like sunlight on a flooded field. You're stubborn, he said, his eyes sharp with buried fire. He's careful, that one, always watching, Pete had said. And Emily saw it now, a man guarding more than his name. Yeah, well, you're stuck with me. She pointed to the couch. Sleep there. We'll talk tomorrow. He nodded slow and sank back down. Emily tossed him a warm blanket, its edges frayed like her nerves. She flicked off the lamp, leaving only the rain's glow through the window. In the dark, she heard his breathing, steady but heavy, like a man carrying a truth too big to speak. As she curled up on her narrow bed, the ring warm on her finger, Emily felt the weight of his silence. He hadn't told her everything, maybe nothing, but his grief, his guarded eyes echoed her own, like a song caught in the throat. Outside, horns blared, sharp as a warning, but in her small room, something unspoken lingered, waiting for dawn. Dawn broke gray over New York, the city stirring with horns blaring, sharp as a warning. Emily Sanders woke to the creak of her apartment floor, her eyes snapping to the couch. The blanket lay folded, the man who called himself John gone. Her stomach twisted, part relief, part loss, like misplacing a letter before reading it. His scarred hand, his guarded eyes, the way he'd said her name lingered, sharp as the coffee she brewed. She grabbed her jacket, her mother's locket glinting as she moved. Old Pete would be at the soup kitchen by now, maybe with answers about John. She'd seen him there before, hadn't she? The diner could wait, her shift didn't start for hours. She locked the door and hit the street, her steps quick, splashing through puddles, the city's hum a restless heartbeat. The soup kitchen was a squat brick building, its windows steamed from warmth inside. Emily slipped through the crowd, tired faces, bundled coats, the smell of broth and bread. Pete sat in a corner, torn hat low, nursing a bowl. She dropped into the seat across from him, breath short. Pete, she said, voice low. The guy you see me with sometimes, tall, rough coat, quiet. You know him? Pete's eyes flicked up, roomy but sharp. Lots of ghosts out here, girl. Gotta be specific. Calls himself John, hurt hand, watches people like he's waiting. Emily leaned closer, her fingers grazing her locket. He knew my name, said you mentioned it. Pete's spoon paused, his gaze narrowing. That one. Keeps to himself. Seen him digging through papers at the old Veltrix lot, clutching a photo of a woman, like your locket's kind. Heard talk of suits watching the lot, jumpy like. He nodded at her locket. Mumbles truths buried, like it's personal. He tapped his temple. Not right, maybe, but not mean. He's careful, that one, always watching. Emily's pulse quickened. Veltrix, tech giant, imploded after its CEO vanished in a crash. She'd heard the news, same as everyone. His sister's photo, a vow he carried. He say anything else? She asked. Pete shrugged, slurping broth. Just that. Sounded like a man owed something. He squinted at her. You sweet on him? No, Emily snapped, cheeks hot. Just worried. She stood, mind racing. Veltrix's empty offices were a few blocks away, boarded up, forgotten. If John was there, she'd find him. The lot was a skeleton of steel and glass. Its Veltrix logo faded, graffiti scarred. Emily ducked under a loose board, her heart thudding as she stepped into the dim. Papers littered the floor, memos, contracts, dust thick. A shadow moved in the corner, and she froze. John, she called, voice sharp in the silence. He stepped into a sliver of light, coat damp, his gaze sharp with buried fire. You shouldn't be here, he said, low like a warning. His scarred hand clutched a crumpled file, knuckles white. Neither should you. Emily crossed the space undeterred. What's this about, Veltrix? You're not just some drifter, are you? His jaw tightened, gaze flicking to the file. Go home, Emily. This isn't your fight. Too late. She grabbed a thermos from her bag, soup from the kitchen, and shoved it at him. Eat, then talk. He took it, reluctance in his grip, and sat on a broken chair. The thermos warmed his hands as he spoke, voice halting. I had a life once. Built something. Someone took it. Tried to take me out, too. I'm still here, but not for long if they find me. Emily's breath caught. Who's they? He didn't answer, just opened the thermos. Steam rising. The silence stretched, heavy as the drizzle outside. She sat across from him, the floor cold, and watched his face. Grief carved deep, like her own when she'd lost her mother. You're not alone, she said firm. Whatever this is, you don't have to hide. His eyes met hers, raw like starlight on a still pond. You're like her, he said, nodding at her locket, helping people. It reminded me of someone. Emily's throat tightened. She wanted to push, but his voice cracked, and she let it go. Stay safe, she said instead, soft. Her gaze fell on a shop window's TV, visible through a cracked pane, a news ticker scrolling. Veltrix Systems, 1 year since CEO Ryan Walker's death and crash. John's hand tightened on the thermos, a flinch so small she almost missed it. Her heart stopped. She stared at him, his scars, his haunted eyes. John, she whispered, the name wrong now, like a mask slipping. He stood, sudden, file clutched tight. Don't, he said, voice breaking. Not yet. Emily rose, legs trembling, the truth reshaping him before her. Like a familiar face seen anew under starlight. Pete watched from the lot's edge, a silent shadow, his hat low. The drizzle fell harder, and in the quiet, she knew. This wasn't just his fight anymore. The Veltrix lot was a tomb of shadows, its air thick with dust and secrets. Emily Sanders stood frozen, the TV's glow still burning in her mind. Ryan Walker, Veltrix's dead CEO, alive in the man before her. John, no, Ryan, clutched a crumpled file, his eyes wild like a trapped animal's. Wind stung sharp outside, a faint echo through the broken windows, but the silence between them roared louder. You're him, Emily said, voice sharp, her locket glinting as she stepped closer. Ryan Walker, not dead, not John. His jaw clenched, a muscle twitching. Keep it down, he hissed, glancing at the boarded entrance. You don't know what's at stake. Then tell me, she grabbed his arm, her grip fierce despite his height. You knew my name, my mom's face. You owe me that much. Ryan pulled free, but his gaze softened, fierce with unspoken vows. He sank onto a splintered crate, file in his lap, and ran a scarred hand through his hair. I was someone once, he said, voice low, like a confession. Built Veltrix, trusted the wrong man. Logan Pierce, my partner. He rigged the chopper, stole everything, He's paranoid now, jumping at shadows but still ruthless. I barely got out. Kept a place, hidden from that life, to stay alive. Emily's breath caught. Logan Pierce. Veltrix's new face, all slick suits and charity galas. Why hide? Why not fight? They think I'm dead, Ryan said, his gaze fierce with unspoken vows. It's the only reason I'm breathing. Logan's got eyes everywhere. Cops, suits, worse. He tapped the file, its edges worn. This is proof. Deals he buried, lives he ruined. She crouched beside him, her steps quick in the dark. So what? You dig through trash forever? You're better than that. He looked at her, a ghost of a smile breaking through. You don't quit, do you? Not when it matters. Emily's voice steadied, her mother's ring warm on her finger. Her mom's hands bandaging strangers flashed in her mind, her own act echoing days ago. Let me help. We'll get him. Ryan's eyes held hers, searching, like he saw her soul laid bare. It's dangerous, he warned. Logan doesn't play clean. Neither does life. She stood resolute. I'm in. He nodded slow, a spark igniting in his gaze. Trust, maybe, or hope. He opened the file, revealing scribbled notes, account numbers, a letter tucked inside, its handwriting tight. My sister, he said, voice cracking. She worked for Veltrix, found Logan's dirt. He made sure she didn't talk. He unfolded the letter, reading softly. Protect them, Ryan, no matter the cost. She knew what he'd do. Emily's chest tightened. I'm sorry, she whispered, the words small against his grief. She touched his shoulder, brief, like a promise. We'll make this right. For her. Ryan swallowed, folding the letter away. There's a server, he said, voice brisk now. Old Veltrix backup. Logan thinks it's gone. It's not. If we get it, we've got him. Where? Emily asked, already moving, her pulse racing like the city's restless heartbeat. Warehouse, Brooklyn? Guarded, but I know a way in. He stood, tucking the file inside his coat. Tonight, before Logan's people sniff us out. They slipped out, the wind a sharp sting as they hit the street. Emily's mind spun. Ryan's truth, Logan's betrayal, the weight of what she'd chosen. Her diner shift loomed, but she texted a sick excuse, her fingers trembling. The subway rattled them to Brooklyn, its fluorescent hum a stark contrast to the dark ahead. The warehouse loomed, a rust-streaked hulk under a flickering street lamp. Ryan led, his steps silent, guiding her through a side gate, its lock long broken. Inside, the air was stale, crates stacked like graves. A faint glow pulsed from a corner, servers still alive. Emily's heart pounded as Ryan knelt, pulling a drive from his pocket. Keep watch, he whispered, plugging it in. Lights blinked, data flowing. She nodded, peering into the dark, her locket a quiet weight. Footsteps echoed, boots heavy, close. Ryan, she hissed, grabbing his arm. He froze. Drive half out. A guard's flashlight swept the aisle, grazing her jacket. Ryan yanked her behind a crate, his breath hot against her ear. The guard passed, whistling, oblivious. Emily's pulse thundered, but Ryan's hand steadied her, firm, like an anchor. The drive beeped, done. Ryan pocketed it, eyes blazing. We've got him, he said, voice low but fierce. They slipped out, wind cloaking their escape. On the subway back, Emily clutched the rail, Ryan beside her, the drive a secret burning between them. The letter's words echoed, protect them, Ryan. That vow tied him to her, to this fight, a thread unnoticed until now, like a breeze weaving hope. The subway screeched through Brooklyn's underbelly, its lights flickering like a bad dream. Emily Sanders gripped the pole, her knuckles white, the weight of the stolen drive in Ryan's pocket pressing against her mind. Ryan Walker sat beside her, his scarred hand tense, gaze bright with rising hope. The subway's clatter, a restless hum, echoed their urgency, but Emily felt danger close, like a shadow on the tracks. They had Logan Pierce's secrets now, but secrets like that didn't stay buried. We need somewhere safe, Emily whispered, her fingers brushing her locket as the train lurched. Your place is out. Mine too. Ryan nodded, jaw tight. Safe house, Harlem. Nobody knows it. His voice was low, clipped, like a man who'd run too long. They switched trains twice, doubling back to shake any tails. Emily's steps quickened on wet platforms, her heart racing with every stranger's glance. Ryan moved like a ghost, his coat blending into the crowd, but his eyes locked on her, protective, like she was the only thing tethering him to the world. The safe house was a basement flat, its door hidden behind a laundromat's hum. Inside, it smelled of mildew and stale coffee, a single bulb swinging overhead. Ryan locked the door, checking the street through a cracked blind. Emily dropped her bag, exhaustion clawing her, but adrenaline burned brighter. A note slipped under the door. Pete's scrawl, "Suits sniffing, watch your back." Her stomach twisted. Old Pete, still watching out. She pulled out her phone, its screen glowing with a news alert. Veltrix stock soars under Pierce's leadership. "He's living it up while you're hunted," she said, tossing the phone down. "We need to move fast." Ryan plugged the drive into a battered laptop, its fan wheezing. Files bloomed, ledgers, emails, proof of Logan's theft. Millions siphoned, lives crushed, including a fund for Emily's old neighborhood, gutted for Logan's gain. Her breath caught, rage flaring. "This hit my people," she said, voice shaking. "Kids I knew, families. He stole their future." Ryan's eyes met hers, guilt flickering. "I didn't know," he said, soft, like a confession. "I ignored the small deals, the ones that hurt places like yours. My sister saw it. I didn't listen." His voice cracked, heavy with the weight of failures. Emily touched her locket, her mother's face inside, her kindness a spark in her mind. Helping Ryan was her spark now, nursing in its way, healing through action. "We'll fix it," she said, firm. "For them. For her." He nodded, a spark igniting in his gaze. They worked fast, sorting files, building a case. Emily's fingers flew, her nursing school focus reborn, precise. Ryan's voice steadied, explaining codes, deals, his old life spilling out. A visionary betrayed, a brother grieving. His sister's letter, its words clear now. "Protect them, Ryan, no matter the cost," drove her to, a vow shared in silence. Hours blurred, the bulb dimming. A noise, footsteps, heavy, snapped them alert. Ryan killed the light, pulling Emily behind a crate. Her pulse hammered as keys rattled the lock. The door creaked open, a flashlight beam slicing the dark. A man's voice muttered, "Told you, empty." Logan's men were jumpy, sensing a leak. Emily held her breath. Ryan's hand on her wrist, steadying. The beam swept past, missing them by inches. The man left, door slamming. Ryan waited, counting seconds, then flicked the light back on. "They're close," he said, voice grim. "We can't stay," Emily said, grabbing the drive as Ryan yanked the laptop's cord. "Where now?" "Public," Ryan said. "Crowds. They won't move in the open." He shoved the files into a backpack, his movements sharp, alive. Emily saw it, his shell cracking, the man he'd been stirring under the scars. Her own resolve hardened, like her mother's when she'd faced a patient's pain. They hit the street, mist curling over Harlem's streets, soft as a new beginning. A 24-hour diner glowed nearby, its windows fogged. Inside, they claimed a booth, the drive hidden in Emily's bag. Coffee steamed, bitter, as they whispered plans. Emily noticed a young girl in the crowd, eyes bright, helping a vendor. "We leak it," Ryan said. "News feds, anyone who'll listen. Logan's done." Emily nodded, her fingers brushing his, a reflex. He didn't pull away, his gaze softening, like a breeze carrying light. "You're not what I expected," he said, almost too quiet to hear. "Neither are you," she shot back, a half smile breaking through. This, helping him, was nursing in its way, her purpose reborn. But the files showed Logan's theft had broken more than Veltrix. It had cracked Ryan's world, left him blaming himself for lives lost, like hers. That rift, unveiled now, cut deeper than she'd guessed, like a crack in a village well. The diner's hum faded and Emily knew, whatever came next, they'd face it together. No turning back. The diner's fluorescent buzz was a thin shield against the dawn's gray chill. Emily Sanders hunched over a chipped mug, the stolen drive a heavy secret in her bag. Across the booth, Ryan Walker's gaze darted to the window, tracking every shadow on the street, bright with rising hope. His hand tapped the table, a restless rhythm, his face taut with truths unearthed. The files from Veltrix's server burned in Emily's mind. Logan Pierce's theft, millions siphoned, lives broken, including her neighborhood's dreams. But Ryan's guilt, raw in his silences, cut deeper, a wound she hadn't seen until now. "We can't sit here forever," Emily said, voice low, her mother's locket glinting as she leaned forward. "They're closing in." Ryan nodded, his coat damp from their sprint through Harlem streets. "One move left," he said, clipped. "We get Logan to talk, on record, then we broadcast it." Her pulse spiked. "You mean confront him? He'll kill you." "He thinks I'm dead," Ryan said, a grim spark in his eyes. "That's our edge." He pulled a burner phone from his pocket, its screen cracked. Emily glanced at it, thinking of the safe house's shadows, a refuge now behind them. I know his habits. He's at Veltrix's penthouse office every morning, alone. Emily's stomach twisted. And we just walk in? No. Ryan's voice hardened. We lure him out. A meet, somewhere public. He'll come if he thinks I've got dirt. He tapped the drive hidden in her bag. We mic up, record him, leak it live. End this. She swallowed, her locket a quiet weight, her mother's strength a spark in her mind. Emily could do this, for Ryan, for the lives Logan crushed. Helping him was nursing in its way, her purpose reborn. Okay, she said, firm. How? Ryan sketched a plan on a napkin. Quick strokes, a map of moves. A park, midtown, crowded enough to keep Logan cautious. Emily would signal, Ryan would talk, a hidden recorder catching every word. They'd stream it through a contact Ryan had, a rogue journalist itching to burn Veltrix down. We move now, he said, standing, before his dogs sniff us out. They hit the street, the city waking in a haze of horns and steam, mist curling over the pavement, soft as a new beginning. Emily's steps quickened, Ryan a step ahead, his limp faint but there. The park was a green smear in the concrete jungle, its paths thick with joggers and vendors. Pete lingered at the park's edge, hat low, watching. They found a bench near a fountain, its spray masking their words. Ryan taped a mic under his collar, his hands steady. Emily's hands shook as she synced the recorder to the journalist's stream, her phone's battery dangerously low. He'll be here, Ryan said, eyes on the crowd. 10 minutes. Emily nodded, her bag slung tight, the drive inside it a ticking bomb. She scanned faces, suits, strollers, a dog walker. Any could be Logan's. Her hand steadied, her mother's strength in her grip, her resolve a spark now burning. This was hard, but Ryan's resolve, fierce beside her, made it possible. A man approached. Tall, silver hair, suit sharp as a blade. Logan Pierce. Emily's breath caught. Ryan stiffened, his hand clenching, but his voice stayed low. Stay back. Signal if anyone moves in. She nodded, slipping behind a vendor cart, her phone ready. Logan stopped a few feet from Ryan, his smile cold, like a snake's. You're a ghost walker, he said, voice smooth. Should have stayed dead. You stole everything, Ryan said, mic catching every word, his voice shaking, echoing his sister's letter. Truth is enough. Veltrix, my sister. Her photo's with me, Logan. Her truth buries you. Logan's eyes narrowed, his paranoia flickering. He'd sensed a leak, his men jumpy for days. You built a house of cards, he said, voice low. I just knocked it down. Your sister poked where she shouldn't. Collateral. Ryan leaned closer, baiting him, his voice steady now. You rigged the chopper, Logan. Siphoned millions. The drive I've got, account numbers, emails, it buries you. Admit it. Logan's jaw tightened, arrogance warring with caution. He stepped closer, voice a hiss. You want truth? I cleaned up your mess. The crash, the money, it's mine now. You're too weak to stop me. His smirk faltered, a crack in his armor, the words damning enough. Emily's heart pounded, her finger hovering over the stream button. Ryan held Logan's gaze unflinching. You're done, he said, soft, like a vow kept. Emily hit send. The journalist's stream lit up, Logan's veiled confession blasting across feeds. News apps, X everywhere. Her phone buzzed, battery at 1%, but it was done. She signaled Ryan, a sharp nod, and he stood, backing away. Logan's phone pinged. He glanced at it, face paling as his voice echoed from a bystander's screen. You bastard, he snarled, lunging. Ryan dodged, faster than Emily expected, his limp forgotten. She grabbed his arm, pulling him into the crowd. Run, she hissed, her steps slipping on wet grass. Logan shouted, but joggers blocked his path, phones out, filming the chaos. The park's noise swallowed them, a shield as they sprinted for the subway. They dove into a train, doors hissing shut. Emily's chest heaved, her bag clutched tight. Ryan leaned against a pole, breathing hard, his eyes alive with relief, maybe redemption. You did it, he said, voice raw. We did. She managed to smile, her hand steady now. Yeah, he's done. Her phone died, but the stream was out, unstoppable. Logan's empire would crumble, the truth a blade no money could dull. The train rattled, lights flickering. Ryan's hand brushed hers, brief, like a promise. I was wrong, he said, almost too quiet. I thought truth was enough. It's not. It's you. People like you. My sister. She'd have loved you. Emily's throat tightened. The file's a mirror to Ryan's failures. Deals he'd ignored, lives lost, including his sister's. He'd chased justice, thinking it would heal him. But this moment, her beside him, their fight shared, was his unexpected home. She squeezed his hand, quick, her eyes stinging. "She'd be proud," she said, voice soft. Ryan looked away, his jaw tight, but his fingers lingered, warm. The train slowed and Emily felt the city shift, its weight lighter, like a storm breaking. They'd won, but the cost, his guilt, her fear, hung heavy. Outside, the platform loomed, a new dawn waiting. Emily stood, Ryan beside her, the drive safe, their bond sealed in silence. Whatever came next, they'd face it, two souls bound by a fight bigger than themselves, like a breeze carrying light through stone. The Portland sky was a soft wash of pink and gold, dawn spilling over the city's quiet streets. Emily Sanders wiped down the counter at Harbor and Hearth, the cafe's wooden tables gleaming under fairy lights. The air smelled of fresh coffee and warm bread, a far cry from New York's shadowed alleys. A year had passed since Logan Pierce's confession went viral, his name now a footnote, his cell cold. Emily's locket gleamed in the dawn's light, her mother's face inside it a steady pulse, like a heartbeat. James, once Ryan Walker, poured espresso behind the counter, his hand steady, scars faded but there. His gaze, warm like a meadow catching dawn, caught hers, a smile flickering, soft as the morning light. They'd fled New York after the broadcast. New names, new lives. The stolen Veltrix funds returned to victims, families, schools, her old neighborhood. Logan's empire was dust, dismantled by investigations sparked that day in the park. The cafe was their haven, its name a nod to the peace they'd fought for. Funded partly by Ryan's choice to seed a community clinic, a quiet atonement for the lives he'd failed. Her photo's safe now, like this place, her vow kept. "Busy day," Emily said, tossing a rag into the sink. Her auburn hair was tied back, freckles bright against her skin, her tiredness softened by purpose. A regular waved from a corner booth, and she waved back, her smile real, like a lotus blooming in still water. Old Pete visited once, leaving a coffee tin as thanks, his eyes kind, a quiet nod to the streets they'd left behind. James nodded, sliding a latte to a waiting customer. "Market's open. We'll get the breakfast crowd." His voice was lighter, the weight of Veltrix, his sister's death. Logan's betrayal eased, though never gone. He wore a flannel shirt, beard trimmed, the haunted drifter replaced by a man finding his place. They moved in sync, her taking orders, him brewing, their hands brushing as they passed mugs, each touch a spark of their shared fight. Emily's choice to help, to bandage a stranger's hand, had reshaped their world. Now she mentored a young volunteer, Lila, who swept the floor with shy focus. This was her nursing now, Emily thought. Small acts, big ripples, her mother's legacy alive in guiding others. Her kindness, like her mom's, had brought him here, a thread woven from that first rainy night. A bell jingled and a family bustled in. Parents, two kids, laughing over a spilled juice box. Emily knelt, mopping it up, her locket glinting. "No worries," she said, winking at the youngest, who grinned. James watched, his gaze warm, like sunlight on a rice field. She felt it, a quiet bond, stronger than words. "Table 3's waiting," he called, playful, tossing her a fresh apron. She caught it, rolling her eyes, but her heart lifted. This was home, not just the cafe's warm walls, but James beside her, their fight woven into every small act. Mid-morning, the rush slowed. Emily leaned against the counter, sipping tea, her steps light now, comfortable. James joined her, his shoulder brushing hers. "You ever miss it?" he asked, voice low. "New York? The fight?" She thought of the diner, the fear in her gut as they'd faced Logan. "Sometimes," she said, honest. "But this is better." She gestured to the cafe, its hum of life, neighbors chatting, cups clinking. "This is enough." He nodded, his fingers tracing a scar. "I thought I'd never stop running," he said, almost to himself. "But you changed that. The clinic, this place, it's for the ones I failed, like my sister wanted." Her throat tightened, her mother's strength in her grip. His sister's letter, "Protect them, Ryan, no matter the cost," had bound them, guilt a shadow that lingered. Here, with her, he'd found purpose, fragile but real. She reached for his hand, her touch light, like a whisper of dawn. "You changed it too," she said, voice soft. "We're here. That's what matters." He squeezed her hand, brief, his eyes holding hers, a shared understanding deeper than words. The bell jingled again, a new customer, and they parted, back to work. Emily took an order. James frothed milk, their rhythm steady, like a folk melody fading into dawn. By noon, the cafe quieted. Emily stepped outside, the air crisp, Portland's trees swaying. James followed, locking the door for a quick break. They sat on a bench, coffee steaming between them. The city's hum gentle, soft as dawn. Her locket caught the light, and James's gaze lingered on it. Then her face. For her, he said, nodding at the locket, his voice a breath of peace. And us. Emily smiled, her chest full, not with answers, but with connection. Incomplete but shared, like hands clasped in quiet dawn. The cafe's sign creaked above. Harbor and hearth, a promise kept. They sipped their coffee, shoulders touching, the world moving on around them. No twist waited, no shadow loomed, just this moment, tender and true, their small haven glowing under the morning's soft light. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that hope can be found in the most surprising moments, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Heartwarming Love Story. We bring you stories that touch the soul, renew your belief in kindness, and highlight what's truly important in life.